My name is Lewis Williams. I'm actually one of the instructors who teach Excel here. And I'm just going to talk quickly about Microsoft Excel. Here at the university, the school, they offer a lot of different Microsoft applications. So not just Excel, Word, PowerPoint, anything that Microsoft has, we teach it here. I'm going to share with you some of the courses that they offer in Excel. Here, they offer a 2010 Level 1. It's a basic course. They cover some of the basics. Now, these courses that we offer here, they're Microsoft certified. So if you want to go and get your certification, in what's called the MOS or MOUS certification, these courses cover the material that you would need to prepare you to take the exam. We don't guarantee that you'll pass the exam, but it prepares you. And there's test-taking techniques to help you. Second course we offer, 2010 Level 2 Intermediate. And then also Level 3 Advanced. Now that's 2010. They offer the same exact courses for 2013, Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. And then we also have another course called Microsoft Excel Entry for Professionals, people who have already been in the workforce and they want to go back into or get some credentials. There's an Excel class for them. What do we cover in the basics? There's a whole syllabus that comes with every class, but some of the basic things in Excel 2010 basics that everybody learns is how to use a function. That's one of the very first things we teach you in basics, is what Excel is used for, is formulas. So we're going to talk about formulas in the basic class. Then we move into functions, which is really just a built-in formula. That's all a function is in Excel. It's a built-in formula that was created by Microsoft. So we learn that in basic. And so in the intermediate class, what do we learn in intermediate class? So we get through the basics like formulas and functions, as well as a whole bunch of things in the basic class, you know, printing and how to format things in Excel. But in the intermediate class, we go a step further. Now we start talking about how to sort and how to filter data. Okay? And then we talk about, in the intermediate class, we get into tables, because all data in Excel is really built around a table structure. So those are some of the things we talk about in intermediate. Now, we go into the advanced class. So what do we talk about in the advanced class? Well, we go back to the formulas, and we talk about some really in-depth formulas in the financial world, statistical, mathematical formulas. And then we talk about some other things in advanced class that a lot of people don't use, but they're helpful, like pivot tables and pivot charts. Talk about that in advanced class. So those are just some of the key functions and features that we cover. There's a whole syllabus that goes with each class that we cover. I just want to pick out what are the top 2 or 3 in each class, or what are the most ones that people want to learn. In my time remaining, I just want to show you some things that you actually learn in all the classes. If I'm going to sort information, which is what you learn in Level 2, I just pulled up an exercise from class, and I'm going to go into sorting it. So first thing I'm going to do is a simple sort. I'm going to highlight. And in this box, it's a little, understand, in this box I'm sorting, I'm going to pick the field. See how it says employee number here? That refers to the top of my table. Each one of those headings at the top of my table represents a field. So I'm going to sort on name first. So I'm going to sort on name. I'm going to select name, my values from A to Z, and say OK. So now my data just sorted. If you notice in the names, it changed from alphabetized from A to Z. So that's just a simple sort. Now what I want to do is a double sort. So I'm highlighting in my table. I'm going to go back to sort. And now I'm going to do a double sort. I'm going to sort first on region, A through Z. And then I'm going to add a level. And then I'm going to sort on department. And I'll throw a twist in there and do it Z through A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort on region first, and then within the region, we're going to sort again. So that's just called a double sort. So again, one thing about sorting data is it doesn't delete anything. It just rearranges how it looks. So now what you see is everything is sorted by region. I have east, I have north, south, and then down at the bottom, west. And then within the East region, you see what? I have sales first, because I'm going from bottom to top, marketing, human resources, administrating, and accounting. So that's just a sort, which is what you learn in Level 2. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do a filter. Now, what's filter? Filter basically just allows us to extract records from our Excel spreadsheet and show just those records we want. It doesn't delete the records. It just extracts them so that we can minimize and see just what we need. So if I was to filter something, I'm going to click on my filter tab, and I'm going to filter, let's say, just my region first. So I'm click on region, and I just want to see everything from the east. So I deselect north, south, and west. I say OK, and that's all what filter does. It just minimizes the records that we don't want to see, allow us to see those records. Now this works really when you have a huge spreadsheet and you just need to see all the east region. We just filter. All the records are still there. So if I close out Excel right now, all my data is still there. I'm just filtering the data. Now, if I want to filter, say, do a double filter, I can do that as well. But I was going to show you one filter where I can base it not just on information, I can base it on color. So I'm going to filter this last field, which is highlighted in color, say by red. So I can just filter on numbers or a region or the region's name, or I can filter on a variable like the color if I have color in my data. So if I'm showing red for negative or green for positive, I can filter those records out and see if I have a sales force, which employees didn't make their sales quota that year. I can filter and then see all those sales employees who didn't make their quota because I got them highlighted in red. I'm going to go back. I went to another tab in Excel, and I just want to show you quickly something we learned in level 1, which is how to create a graph. Most people see graphs and things in Excel and they think, okay, this is really difficult. And it's really simple. A graph or a chart in Excel is all based on the data. So I can show you now how I'm going to take this simple Excel table. Basically, you see it's a table of employees and their sales information by quarter. So I got my data highlighted, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go with a bar chart. Yeah, I'm going to go with a bar chart. And that's as simple as creating a chart in your Excel data. Now, one of the key tricks that I tell you in class is that to create a chart, the first thing you do is you highlight data. The one thing you don't do is you never highlight totals, and that's what I want to point out. And that's what most people would have taken this Excel's data and highlighted everything and then try to chart it. Well, when you're creating a chart, you got to understand the purpose of a chart. And the whole purpose is so that you can see a trend. So you don't highlight totals when you're graphing or charting anything. You never highlight totals because all you're trying to do is notice a trend. For like example, what trend do you notice here? If you notice, the names of the people are color-coded. Kendra is blue, Mike is red, Kelly is green, and Julie is purple. So you notice a trend as to who did the highest sales per quarter. Who is the highest in quarter 1? Not looking at the numbers, but looking here, I can say that Julie had the highest sales in quarter 1, but then look at her in quarter 4. She tailed off. I mean, she really tailed off. So she worked hard at the very beginning of the year, and then she's vacationing because she's already made enough money, and so she tailed off. But then look at Kendra. Kendra's sort of mediocre at the very beginning, and then she just she takes off in the 4th quarter. So that's what charting is for. And the key thing is never highlight totals from Excel when you chart anything, because you're not trying to see the total sales. You're trying to see a trend between employees or a trend line.